Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers officer conduct, traffic compliance, and policy violations, and comes to us from the Batosize channel. Be sure to check out the description below and give them the credit that they deserve. Let's dive right in and audit the interaction. On May 7th, 2019, Maryland resident Ray Harris Jr. was pulled over just outside the DC metro area in the suburb of Dunkirk by Trooper Lewis of the Maryland State Police while traveling home from attending jury duty.
You might step out the vehicle.
Why do I need to step?
I'm lawfully telling you to step out the vehicle.
What have I done?
I'm lawfully telling you to step out the vehicle so I can talk to you, okay? Since you don't want to roll down your window, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and legally step out the vehicle so I can talk to you.
Do I have to roll down my window?
I'm giving you a lawful order to step out the vehicle, okay? Don't worry about the window. I need you to step out the vehicle.
Is there a reason I need to step out the
I'm giving
vehicle?
you a lawful order now to step out the vehicle, okay? If you fail to comply, you will be arrested. Step out of the vehicle so I can talk to you.
Have I? Why am I going to be arrested?
7 Prince Frederick. Okay, fine. You don't want to step out?
It's not that I don't want to step out, it's that I don't have to step out.
The sister Supreme Court cases of Pennsylvania v. Mims and Maryland v. Wilson grant law enforcement officers the ability to control the movement of anyone involved in a traffic stop in the name of officer safety. I have made multiple videos which explore the intricacies of officer control during a traffic stop. Check out my channel for more in-depth explanations. Trooper Lewis is issuing a lawful order for Mr. Harris to step out of the vehicle, and by refusing to exit, Mr. Harris is committing a crime.
7 Prince Frederick. I'm studying my way northbound forward, south of MF Bone. My correction. Mount Harmony.
Can I get your name, sir?
What was that?
Can I get your name, sir?
Hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Since you don't want to comply to my orders.
But don't you have to tell me your name?
Okay, look, I'm giving you a lawful order to step out of the vehicle, okay? That's your last time.
Can you get a supervisor up here, sir?
For failure to comply with a lawful order.
Can you get somebody up here that's higher than you, sir? Please.
5 Hotel 1747 on a red Honda. Sir, step out the vehicle.
Can I get your name and
Sir, when you're on my way, drivers being non-compliant, not listening to the lawful order. Step out of the vehicle now.
Is there a reason I have to step out of the vehicle,
Because I'm
sir?
giving you a lawful order, okay, sir?
Why did you pull me over, sir?
Step out of the
You
vehicle.
never told me. Why did you pull me over, sir?
Well, you won't allow me to talk to you, okay?
I asked you.
Sir, I'm telling you, step out.
Why did you pull me over, sir?
All right.
Don't worry about it.
Just stay right there, okay?
I'm going to stay right here, sir.
Are you going to step out of the vehicle, yes or no?
No, sir.
No?
Can I get your name, sir?
Seriously now, I'm telling you lawfully step out the vehicle.
You have not given me your name. You have not told me why you pulled me over. You have not given me a reason to step out this vehicle.
The Supreme Court has affirmed in multiple cases that law enforcement officers do not have to identify themselves, do not have to tell you why they pulled you over, and do not have to give you a reason to exit the vehicle. Although officers are not bound by law to do any of those things, transparency and cordial interaction with the public are often written into their department's policies. According to Maryland's official state website, Maryland State Police officers undergo 27 weeks of a residential police training academy known as one of the most intense and comprehensive state police training programs in the country. During their 6 months of strict discipline, the trooper candidates receive instruction in criminal and traffic laws, emergency care, emergency driving, physical training, and scenario-based training that includes de-escalation and conflict resolution. Yet Officer Lewis did not make a single attempt to de-escalate the situation or find a peaceful resolution.
I'm telling you to step out the vehicle lawfully.
Lawfully.
Are you going to step out?
No, sir. Can you get somebody up here higher than you?
Turn your engine off.
I will turn my engine off. Can you get somebody up here higher than you, sir? Can you do that for me?
Excuse me?
Can you get somebody up here that's a higher rank than you, sir? Can you get somebody above you?
Yeah, you can record all you want, okay? Because it's recording you.
What have I
It's
done?
recording me telling you to legally to step out the vehicle.
For
and you're
what,
not
sir?
compliant.
For what?
Like I said, I'm not going to talk to you through a crack,
I'm sorry.
okay? So now you're saying I'm going to jail for failure to comply with a lawful order.
If I've broken the law, take me to jail, sir.
You have.
Okay, when we get somebody up here higher.
In Maryland, I can't tell you to step out the vehicle.
We will find out, sir.
Well, do you have your mind having your hands visible where I can see them?
My hands.
Hey, record all you want.
Oh, I am, sir.
Okay. My name is Trooper Lewis with the Maryland State Police.
Thank you. I didn't start recording until you started demanding stuff without telling me a name, telling me why you pulled me over.
Well, you're trying to have me talk to you through a smaller crack.
There is no law that requires an individual to fully roll down their window during a traffic stop, but not rolling down a window often prompts officers to legally extract the individual for safety reasons, especially if the windows are tinted. Trooper Lewis doesn't seem too concerned about the safety aspect of the window, but more so disrespected by the fact that Mr. Harris refuses to obey his orders to roll it down. If safety was Trooper Lewis's main concern, then he probably wouldn't be hovering over the window or engaging in a back and forth banter with Mr. Harris. If Trooper Lewis felt as though he could be in danger and needed to control the situation, then it would have been much safer for him to step back and wait for backup to arrive. But instead, the trooper decided to escalate the situation by asserting his authority rather than engaging in a dialogue with Mr. Harris and attempting to find common ground.
Do I have to open my window more than this, sir? Is that a law?
I'm going to talk to you, stop yelling, yes, okay? But like I say, hey, we're beyond that, okay? I've told you multiple times to legally step out of the vehicle.
To legally? You haven't given me a legal reason why I need to step out.
Step out of the vehicle so I can talk to you. Okay?
Sir, are we not talking, sir?
No, we're not.
Oh, my apologies. It's a busy day, too. Sir, I've already explained to you.
Possible extraction from vehicle.
Extraction from vehicle?
Alright, so you're not going to come out of the vehicle?
Sir, give me a reason.
I can't hear you. Okay, and the reason why I did pull you over is for your window tint. I can't see in your vehicle, okay? For the safety reason, I want to talk to you, be able to identify you.
Here, Trooper Lewis finally acknowledges the possible safety concern that the rolled-up window could pose. If Trooper Lewis had begun this interaction by stating that he did not feel comfortable or safe without being able to see inside the vehicle, then Mr. Harris may have complied or taken other actions to dispel the trooper's concerns. Instead, Trooper Lewis doubled down on the notion that he was issuing a lawful order that Mr. Harris is required to obey, essentially throwing all of those hours of de-escalation training out the window.
Who you are.
You haven't even asked me for an ID. What do you mean you're trying to identify me?
Yeah, you still have yet to roll down the window. I'm explaining to you why.
Sir, give me the law that says I have to roll down my window.
Step out.
I'm not going to step out, sir. I'm not going to step out, sir. Somebody else is pulling up, sir. We're going to see what he has to say.
Sir, step out of the car. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and break your window down. Step out of the car.
Sir, there's a cop right here. Sir, there's another cop pulling up. Can we wait?
Step out of the car, okay?
Sir,
I'm legally telling you to step out of the car.
both of my hands are right here.
Ultimately, Mr. Harris was charged with failure to obey a lawful order, arrested, and spent 8 hours in jail before being bailed out. After the video of his arrest went viral and several local news stations picked up the story, the charges against Mr. Harris were dropped, but the arrest still remains on his record. Mr. Harris is working with a defense attorney to have his record expunged and is also asking the Maryland State Police to reimburse him for his broken window and and to take disciplinary action against Trooper Lewis. Overall, Trooper Lewis gets an F for unnecessarily amplifying the hostility of this interaction and neglecting his duty to attempt to de-escalate the situation. Reinforcing an order with authority rather than taking a second to simply explain the logic behind the order is contrary to basic human nature, and in the time it took Trooper Lewis to escalate this interaction with such an utter disregard for transparency, it could have been completely avoided with an ounce of professional candor and courtesy. Trooper Lewis failed to employ one of the most important aspects of his training as a law enforcement officer and made a complete mockery of the 27-week program that the state of Maryland deems as one of the most intense and comprehensive training programs in the country. Mr. Harris gets a C- because he did refuse to obey a lawful order and escalated the interaction as much as Trooper Lewis did. The major difference between Trooper Lewis's conduct and Mr. Harris's conduct is that Trooper Lewis underwent extensive training in regards to how to conduct a traffic stop, yet he still failed to follow protocol. Mr. Harris was not properly informed of his rights during a traffic stop, but he has not undergone the comprehensive training that Trooper Lewis has, and should not be held to the same standard as a public servant in regards to police interactions. The true failure here was not Mr. Harris's refusal to obey a lawful command, but Trooper Lewis's inability to justify that command. Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic you would like us to cover in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more police interaction content.